Thor threw out his hammer, but in the middle of its flight, the hammer suddenly shrank. When he pulled it back, he found that the hammer had turned into a needle. Fortunately, its power was not diminished. Hawkeye's son handed his mother over to the enlarged Hawkeye and ran toward the laboratory. Tony happened to be looking for his help, but before he could finish speaking, Tony was shrunk by the blue particles. Ant-Man finally had his partners arrive. Falcon rushed into the warehouse and found a device, attaching it to Ant-Man's gun. The gun modified by Falcon absorbed the particles. Hawkeye returned to normal size, and Thor's hammer was also restored. At that moment the base shook, and they discovered that Hulk had actually grown bigger than Ultraman. Falcon realized that Hulk's body must contain a large amount of Pym particles. The gun in his hand couldn't absorb them, and the vacuum container in the lab was too small. They had to bring back Ant-Man and Tony. Before leaving, Falcon discovered that vibranium and Pym particles had a mutual interaction. By borrowing Captain America's shield and making slight modifications, he could gather the particles in the building. Falcon took his mother into the microscopic world, and the two quickly found Tony and Ant-Man. Meanwhile, all the particles were absorbed onto the shield. The enlarged Falcon then used the gun to extract the particles. Now the group had to deal with Hulk. After some discussion, Falcon used the gun to shrink Hulk. Ant-Man returned to the lab to modify the vacuum container. Falcon flew behind Hulk and used the gun to shrink him. Ant-Man's gun became unstable, and Falcon hurried to the lab. If the gun exploded, it would be a catastrophe. At the very last second, Falcon delivered the gun into the vacuum container. The Pym particles exploded inside, and the crisis was finally resolved.